My first job out of undergrad was teaching in a high school setting. I ended up noticing a darker side of that coin in that working in Southeast DC, that a number of my students were experiencing trauma, mostly due to gun violence. And what I saw happening, which again I didn't realize at the time this is art therapy, is that the art room, my space, became sort of a hub. The students would gather, and some of them would just be in the space, some of them would be listening to music, but a lot of them were coming to use art materials. It became what felt like a healing space.
I'm Heidi Bardot, and I'm the director of the George Washington Art Therapy Program. So oftentimes we describe art therapy as a way to do counseling with somebody where it's expressing their feelings, their emotions, and not necessarily through words. Sometimes you just don't have the words, especially with trauma, with grief. You just don't have the words to describe what you're feeling. However, you might have a shape or a color, or just an expression that when you're creating something. So art therapy is a way to access those and to be in the process of healing when you are creating the artwork.
What art is able to do in art therapy in those spaces is to, like I said, bring attention to voices, to allow people to use art as an expression tool, to say things that they've not been able to say, to engage in a healing process. And we find that communal art making, there is something innately healing that happens when we can commune. We are, as humans, hardwired to connect with people, and art allows that to happen more seamlessly.
My name is Melinda McCoy. I am the founder and director of Elm Foundation. Elm Foundation is a nonprofit arts organization based in Brooklyn, New York. We focus on 3 pillars: advocating the benefits of art therapy, general arts education and mentorship for the youth, and community arts programming. I was inspired to create Elm Foundation out of my own personal family trauma. My daughter was kidnapped by her father internationally, and through that process I realized that she was using her art to work through the situation herself. I found her artwork online. This was at a point where I didn't know where she was, but finding her art, I could tell that she was using her art to work through the situation. I didn't think about it then, but later on when I found out that she was not okay mentally and I turned back to the art, I came to the conclusion, why are we not offering more opportunities for art therapy for youth especially?
Random shapes. How many shapes do you think letters have?
What? Letters?
Letters come in 3 shapes only.
One of the most amazing things that happens here is through our kind of mentoring and how we have things structured. Seeing an artist validate a student's creativity, you see that student like changes, and it's just like that validation is just, it's huge. And I think those little moments are what kind of guide our lives almost. And so a little choked up talking about that because it is so profound and it's in real time.
There's one student who has been with us for quite a while, since he came to the original screen printing. I was giving a tour one day and Brandon just happened to be here working. He was working on stop motion that day. He's tried all the mediums. I think screen printing is his favorite. But someone walked up to him, this person I was giving the tour, and they were like, "What do you think about Elm?" He's like, "This is my happy place." I believe in the healing powers of art.
I believe in the healing powers.
The healing powers.
In the healing powers.
In the healing power.
Healing power. Healing power.
And I believe in the healing power of art.
Now, the phrase art therapy is used by some to mean everything and anything, from art as therapeutic, which usually means calming or stress reducing, to projective assessments, to any art that is emotionally expressive. But according to the American Art Therapy Association, art therapy is a mental health profession that enriches the lives of individuals, families, and communities through active art making, creative process, applied psychological theory, and human experience within a psychotherapeutic relationship.
What the arts give us is a sort of access to ourselves, our shared humanity. And we might be here in the 21st century, but our brains and minds are the same as our hunter-gatherer ancestors of 40,000 years ago. So the emotions we feel are exactly the same in a crazier world with way, way more stimulation. And I know now we think of art as this leisure, or it's for the privileged, or when you have spare time. But the history of art in human civilization is actually deeply intertwined.
Words make you think. Music makes you feel. A song makes you feel a thought. Now think about that in terms of someone's expression, someone's discovering their authentic feelings, what that can do for someone in a therapy context. This is the approach that we try to cultivate, that kind of authentic expression and exploration in music therapy, live, interactive music making, to discover what can music do for this person.
We're holding a space to create meaning and make meaning for oneself. And that was something that I had to rewire as I came into the program to learn about art therapy, because I had worked as an artist for so long that coming in to make meaning of art and create new connections to my art and within my own processing